Hi everyone, Steve Dempster here from Dempster Guitar Studio, and got my tea as usual. I wanted to take some time to introduce you to the flagship program, I guess, of the studio that gets offered a few times a year, and that is the Strumming Decoded workshop for guitar players, formerly known as the Beach Bum Strummer. And I wanted to give you a little bit of information, very short video on that, just to help you decide that it's the right fit for you, yeah, so you could tap into it and join us if you feel free to do so. So the whole gist of this workshop stems from an observation that I've been repeatedly witnessing in this studio and in other teaching environments that I've been in the past, and it comes from this simple comment from so many students. I would say, you know, almost like 60–70% of the time, one of the comments that will come out of a new student's mouth when they're trying to describe what their experience has been on the guitar is that, "I don't feel I have a good sense of rhythm." And as soon as I hear that, boy, my red flags go up real quick. Because, in my opinion, everyone does. The difference is that those who feel they don't simply haven't exercised it. They haven't consciously thought as much about how rhythm is structured around them and actually within them. Whereas those that perhaps appear to us to play naturally, rhythmically well, they've got those skill sets, shall we say, sort of naturally wired into them. It's okay, they're out there, they don't need to be part of this program. They may not actually understand what they're doing when they play well, those that have it sort of naturally, but it just feels right to them. So that's good. We'll leave them alone. If you're that person, then you don't need this workshop. On the other hand, if you're the person who's been playing for a little while, has some basic chords under their belt, has been doing a few tunes, and has started to ask the question, you know, how does strumming work? How is it that somebody can just listen to a tune, and as they hear it, there are obviously aspects of the tune that are telling or informing the guitarist how they might strum along to it without somebody, and this is key right now, without somebody else coming along and saying, "Well, Stephen, if this is the song you want to play, this is how it's strummed." I'll grant you that there are times when a certain tune will have a very specific strumming approach, which is unique to that tune and defines that tune in a very important way. That does occur, but in a more general sense, that's not the case, and there would be many options available to someone to be able to strum along to their favorite song. So this workshop, this training, is designed specifically to help the student get comfortable with the concepts of rhythm here, and through the training begin to experience and feel the rhythm here, so that it ultimately comes out of their instrument, the guitar in our case. So that's the focus of the program. It is not about giving you set, what I call canned strum patterns. It is not about that, so that when you're done, you're walking away with, you know, half a dozen new patterns that you can add to your arsenal. It is about the ability to hear a tune, make some general rhythmic decisions about its structure, and then apply a strumming approach to that song that is essentially workable for the tune. It doesn't have to be identical to anything that you heard in the song, although there's nothing wrong with that either. We're talking about developing musicianship fundamentally, rhythmic musicianship. Why am I doing this? It's very simple. The whole idea of rhythm, if you're not reading music, which has rhythm built into it, if you're not reading music, helping you conceptually and in your body understand how rhythm works is an essential skill that you're going to need if you want to progress musically on the guitar. If you are definitely happy just getting a pattern, a strum pattern for a song, and on and on and on it goes, you can do that. Lots of people do that. I don't happen to think it's the best long-term approach, but it is a good starting approach. But I often say too, you can't stay there too long because your musicianship skill set is not going to grow really from that. So the key here is to help students make decisions on their own based on what they hear. Now, to get you there, to get you to that point, is not a necessarily easy or short-term task. It's something that you have to have training in. It's something that you have to engage in over a period of time. Nothing specific, you just do it until you get it, and then you get it, and you get it, and you keep on getting it, and it just never really stops. So it doesn't really have an end point per se. But we'll say that at the end of the workshop, you should have a very workable sense, a strategy, shall we say, that you can apply to a particular tune and decide for yourself as a musician how you might strum that thing. And it may be slightly different from what somebody else might do, but both are correct, both work. So the key will be, or the main point that I want to make sure you leave the workshop with is that you're feeling empowered to make those decisions on your own. If we don't do this training, the consequence is very significant, and that's simply that you will get into the habit of thinking that this song demands that strum pattern. Fine, you go and play it, you practice it, you get really good at it, then the next tune comes along. Now what do you do? Your first question will be, well, Steve, or whoever your teacher is, I've got a new song I want to work on. How will I strum that? And so this process, this very banal connection between song and canned strum pattern starts to set in. And essentially, every time you want to learn a tune, for quite a while, you have to wait for somebody to show you how to do it. And I can't stand that. There's no reason for you to do that. You're fully capable of doing this on your own. And so, through the training, we're helping you, or I'm helping you, develop the awareness of rhythm in here, in your body, so that it comes out on your instrument. There's only one reason for that. Rhythm does not reside in your guitar. Just because you bought a guitar and you hit strings doesn't mean rhythm is going to happen. Rhythm comes from you. And if you don't know how to feel it, you don't understand its structure, it's not going to come out. That's what the goal is for the program. So I'm inviting you to participate in on that. So the workshop happens over 2 Saturdays, and it's just a couple hours each Saturday that we're engaged. You're not doing a full day thing. And the reason why I've separated it out is basically I've beefed the program up a little bit more, but I want people to have a bit of time in between some of the presentations so that they can digest and think about and process and practice a little bit of the stuff that we're talking about. And that way when we come back on the final weekend, the second weekend, you're coming to it a bit more informed and a bit more ready to take on slightly more advanced rhythmic thinking. So anyway, I hope that clarifies some stuff for you. If you feel that that's something you can use and you want to get into, I'm inviting you to come on into the workshop and let's have some fun building your rhythm skills. They last a lifetime. Once it's done, it's like riding a bike. You kind of have the core in place and you just keep doing it and you get better. You can trick ride if you want on your bike, or you can do really cool, fancy rhythmic stuff, cooler than anybody else if you like. But other than that, the goal is to really help you refine rhythmic understanding in you, in your mind, so you can apply it to the guitar. And I think I kind of often have thought, actually, that that's what Frank Zappa meant when he said, just shut up and play your guitar. What he's saying is, don't overthink it so much. Just play. And we'll talk about how that process really unfolds in the Strumming Decoded workshop. Thanks for your time, and I hope to see you guys there. Take care. Bye.